Light your fire by the river, sleep on the ground. Ramble, 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 it's the only way back home. See the crows come and tell your story to the smoke. What can't hold itself up on the land, I say, let it go. Great-grandma, she hit a lightning bolt, no workbench faces wood.
Good morning, y'all. It is January 9th, 2025. I hope you are having a great new year. We have another short for you right now. It's not a full episode of A Beginner's Guide to Packrafting, but rather a quick overview of the Packrafting Film Festival, spearheaded by Jule Harle and a handful of others. So here we go. So this is not an official episode of the podcast, but I just wanted to talk to you about your new exciting endeavor, Packraft Film Festival. Yeah, so I just wanted you to introduce yourself first and then tell me about the inception of this new project of yours.
So I'm Jule Harle. I've been packrafting for almost 20 years. I came into packrafting from a hardshell whitewater kayak background, all in Alaska. So packrafting, a passion of mine. I started the Alaska Packraft School 4 years ago. We teach safety courses, paddle skills, swiftwater rescue, and do international trips. And I wrote the Alaska Packraft Guidebook. And so I've been really involved in packrafting in the United States, but also internationally. So one of my good friends, Greg Stafford and Emily Baker, they are the founders of the Northern Aspects Film Festival. It's an Alaskan free ride, big mountain skiing and snowboarding and snow machine festival. And so kind of with their film intelligence and their background running film festivals, we were on a trip in Peru last year paddling, again, another international trip. And we found out, or we keep rediscovering, that the packraft communities are outside of the United States, and the ways that people are packrafting goes beyond whitewater day trips. It's a craft, it's a vessel that's opened up and birthed a new multi-sport. And so the International Packraft Film Festival, this is our first year. We're doing world premieres starting in spring 2025. It's highlighting the adventure stories and films, showing the sport's vast potential in not just whitewater, but nature exploration and the stories and the passion behind it.
Wow. So I'm just curious because you run a business full time, so you must be really busy now. Or do you have some?
Yeah, all the work I do is really fun. And this, the International Packraft Film Festival, I'm on the leadership team. I do a lot of the marketing and outreach, but we've got a leadership team of 5 people. So it's not just a Jule project. It's a group of passionate packrafters that are all friends.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I didn't realize that you had a whole team doing this. Is the team all from Alaska, or are you guys from all over the place?
The team's all from Alaska.
Nice. Okay. And tell me about like the first premiere and where the films came from and where it's going to be.
Ooh, so the films, we're still receiving and accepting submissions until February 1st. I'd say a little over half of the films are from the United States. I think that's where socially and culturally we have our strongest presence right now. But we've gotten a few submissions from New Zealand, from India, from China, from
Nice.
France, from Australia, and a few from South America.
Wow. And are these, is it like a mix of amateur and professional filmmakers?
Yes, and that's some of the, I think, the beauty behind the International Packraft Film Fest is we're not Banff. We're not inviting only professional filmmakers, where you don't need to be really awesome with a camera or have expensive equipment to have a great adventure story, or fun footage. I think a lot of the, most packrafters aren't professional filmers, and they're not professional paddlers. They're passionate adventurers. So we have multiple categories, but we're the 3 categories we have are amateur, experienced amateur, and then professional level films. And we've gotten submissions from all 3 of those.
Cool. And how do you compensate the people who make the films, or how does that whole process work?
Yeah. So there's no cash prizes. So there'll be a panel of judges that are not anyone on the leadership team or anyone submitting films. So there'll be an unbiased party that votes. for film winners. And we've got some fun high dollar prizes, like an $1,800 voucher for a new alpaca boat. So you can build your dream boat. We've got Swiftwater Safety Institute has donated multi-day rescue trainings. Alaska Packraft School, we're donating courses and vouchers. And we've got a lot of paddle swag, from dry suits to PFDs to paddles to throw ropes. So, the intention is anyone that submits the film, they'll get some sort of package like, hey, thanks for submitting and donating your time. But there's no cash prizes or financial reimbursement for film festival winners or people submitting. But you'll be on the big screen around the world.
Yeah, and it sounds like you can get some pretty fun prizes if you win, so that's cool. And
Yeah, and some of the intention behind this, a lot of the prizes we've gotten donated from sponsors. I'm really passionate about a lot of whitewater and paddle sports nonprofits, and we're turning this where we really want this film festival not just to be another side hustle or business that Jule and her friends do, but an opportunity to connect the international community of pack rafting, but also an opportunity for paddle sports nonprofits or local clubs and organizations to turn this into fundraising events in their areas. And then the money we receive from our raffles, which will be at the screening sites, the money we receive from those raffles will go to organizations like American Packraft Association, to American Whitewater. And then if folks will sell the screening rights to the films, once the world premieres are done, they can do whatever they'd like with those films. So host their own events and generate their own kind of local fundraisers.
that is cool. So where's the first big event being held?
The first two big events, one will be in Anchorage, Alaska. One will be in Fairbanks, Alaska. One will be in Durango, Colorado, and another big one will be in New Zealand.
Sweet. Who did you connect with? Just curious, in Durango, who's running it?
Dan Broman.
Oh, yay, cool. Yeah, he's on the
Yeah, and he's on the APA board, and he kind of reached out and he volunteered to be the boots on the ground, the kind of local guy. I'll fly down there and be a
right.
part of it. And I love Durango. I love where you guys live. It's cool.
When is that one?
We don't have a hard date yet. We're shooting, we're open, but we're shooting for April through June. But we
Okay.
should know more in the next like 3 weeks.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about some of the films that have already been submitted, or are you kind of keeping that under wraps until the
A little taster. I was just on one of the projects. Dean Parker, whom really big in the bike rafting community. He started procuring this film talking about the Hokitika River that's in New Zealand. In the helicopter kayak scene down here has kind of fizzled away because it's cost prohibitive. And so it's a story about pack rafts really coming into the scene, because a lot of these remote, steep West Coast runs have trails or tracks. They call them tracks down here, that can help you access the river, but you wouldn't see a kayaker hiking in.
right.
And with the heli rates being like 10 times as much as they were in the 80s and 90s, you don't see as many heli kayakers. And so he's got a story about how pack rafting is kind of changing the whitewater, or not change. It's not changing the whitewater. It's influencing, I think, a change in whitewater users in New Zealand. And so we've got some fun footage of the Hokitika Canyon, and a little bit too about the evolution of boat technology and how it's helping us access more challenging whitewater. And I mentioned earlier, not all the films are like, oh, whitewater porn, right? Because that's one demographic of a pack raft user. We've got films with Alaskan wilderness style overland travel. And then the one that's coming from India, I haven't watched it yet. So I'm really excited to see that one. But just, without describing any film in too much detail, the ones I've watched, I haven't watched all the submissions yet. They're showcasing the diversity of pack rafts, how they're being used, but who's paddling them.
How long has this project been in the works?
Yeah, the light bulb in the idea farm went off when we were in Peru last December. So that we started working on it in December 2023. And then I think we started really making announcements and generating interest and, doing all that stuff, like getting a website and logo. We started doing that in the spring following. So yeah, under a year, about a year.
Wow. Powerhouse. I'm not surprised.
It's all fun though. No, I'm not like hanging out trying to do more, like busy work. It's fun work. And it's really, I think, been a fun way to travel and advocate for pack raft safety and get people involved. When you talk about a film festival, they're like, wait, I can submit a film? Yeah, I want to make a film. And to see that like light go off in people's eyes, like, oh, that sounds cool. I want to make a film. It's like, yeah, you don't need to be a pro, but if you're passionate about the sport and you have a story you want to tell, like we want to see what you got.
Wow. Yeah, I thought about putting something together with the copious amounts of footage that we have, but I think I'll try for the following year.
Yeah, too, I've got a documentary I want to make about the soul of the river, I call it spirituality, but the deeper meaning behind paddling, and maybe a silly music video. I've got a lot of film ideas too, but I'm gonna do one next year. Oh, I was gonna say, if anyone's listening to this or hears about the Packraft Film Festival, some footage, I would love it if someone submitted like a carnage reel.
Yeah.
Or like a series of wet re-entries or something like that. So we're all between swims.
Oh, gosh, I have a bunch of different ones. Wow, that's a thought.
Or maybe I should invite people to submit their carnage clips, and then I'll organize a carnage reel. That'd be fun. I think it'd be good breaks between sets and things.
Yeah, I have a bunch I could send to you. Actually, I just have to find them. But I have, yeah, I have, obviously we film our courses, so I have plenty of video.
Oh yeah, courses are carnage farms,
Yeah,
which is
totally.
great. We learn what to do when it happens.
Exactly. Purposeful.
Purposeful. Yeah, it's a great environment to be out of your boat and figure out what to do when it happens.
Exactly. So, is there anything I'm not asking you that you want to share with me about the film fest?
I think whoever's listening to this, if this lights you up, we're accepting submissions. So you've got just under a month till February 1st. Also, we're still accepting sponsors, so that can be for a local showing, any small prizes or big prizes you want to get into the into the crowd pool or into the film winners pool. We would include you on our social media posts and on our merchandise and on our website. We want to support the people that are supporting the festival. And also too, if you're like, I would love to do a screening in my town, you should reach out to us because we are, I mentioned the world premiere venues, but we'd like to screen these films and kind of share the vibe in as many places as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, where do people go to find more information?
You can go to packraftfilmfest.com and you can follow us on Instagram, Packraft Film Fest on the old Insta, for funny videos, clips, and reels. packraftfilmfest@gmail.com is, I think, the quickest way to get a hold of us. When we've got 5 people responding to those email threads, so someone will connect with you real soon after you send us a holler.
So thanks for listening, and stay tuned because within the next couple of weeks we will be publishing episode number 11, an interview with alpaca raft design engineer Dustin Partridge. Dustin will be chatting about the design process at Alpaca Raft. He talks a bit about the differences between the Valkyrie and the Mage, and he goes into some detail about his mentee ship with the brilliant Sherry Tingy. So we're looking forward to getting this out to y'all, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
'Cause we all live downstream. We all live down